Howdy, howdy, Chris here. We're back in the garage. Today we're talking about how to block and shape your body filler. As a DIYer, working with body filler can be some of the most frustrating parts of any repair or restoration project. My goal is to break it down step by step for you, help you to understand the whole process better, and give you tips that are going to make you more efficient and get better results. So let's dig into it. And we're not getting into the preparation of a dent in this video, just how to work with body filler. So we went ahead and pulled the dent out of this quarter panel of this Mustang. I stripped it down to bare metal with 80 grit on this angle grinder. Now you can apply body filler over properly sanded paint, over epoxy primer, or over bare metal. Now in a collision type situation, we apply it over bare metal or properly sanded paint. Now if you're doing a restoration project, you probably want to apply your body filler over an epoxy primer. This is going to give you superior corrosion protection for that bare metal. Before we apply our filler, we're going to prepare the surface around this repair area. I'm sanding this with 80 grit sandpaper. This is going to be a coarse enough scratch that's going to allow that body filler to grab and adhere to the paint edge, because we will be applying this body filler over the edge of the paint. There's many different brands of body filler. The body filler I choose to use is the Upol lightweight gold. This body filler sands very easy, it's reasonably priced, and it does a great job. Now, when you're mixing your body filler, you want to fold it in till it's all one uniform color. If you stir it, you can introduce air into that and create air pockets and what they call pinholes in your filler. So when you apply the first coat of filler, you want to press it into the panel. Make sure you get good adhesion. So what I like to do is I lay a little bit of filler on the low areas and then I spread it over the panel. And I'll make multiple passes, making sure it's pressed in so we have good adhesion. Use the angle of your spreader and your pressure to smooth it out across the repair area. If your spread doesn't look pretty or perfect, don't be concerned about it, because we're going to sand this down. Now the goal of filler is to fill those low areas in your repair, block sand it down until it's level and straight. After your spread, it's going to take, depending on the temperature, about 10 to 15 minutes for it to cure. A cheap tool like this body filler rasp is an easy way to shave down the excess filler and to start getting it level. This body filler rasp has coarse teeth on it. You want to use this tool just as this body filler starts to cure. This tool works much better when the body filler is still a little bit soft. A quick way to shape your body filler is to use an orbital sander with some 80 grit sandpaper. By using this orbital sander, we're just roughing this in and getting it shaped. I'm not trying to get this panel straight. I just want to knock down the roughness of the body filler, get it shaped, and then we'll move into blocking it. Now that we got the bodywork all roughed in with the orbital sander and some 80 grit sandpaper, we're going to go ahead and spread a guide coat over it. And what a guide coat does is going to show us any high or low areas in our body repair. I'll start by blocking this quarter panel with 80 grit sandpaper on this small block. Now, when you're blocking a panel, you want to hold your block flat against the panel and you want to block it in an X or crosshatch pattern. This is going to help give you the best results and get this panel straight. Now, I'm starting with that wheel opening lip because that's a flat portion of this repair. After we get that block straight, we're going to go ahead and block that contoured portion of this quarter panel, and I'll show you how we do that. We're starting to create a body line here. I'm blocking up to that body line, and then when I block the contoured portion of this quarter panel, I'll block down to that body line, and that'll start to form that body line the way we want it. Now later on, I'll use a piece of tape and tape off that body line when we block that contoured portion. This will help protect that body line and keep us from flattening it out, and just give us a good guide to help reshape that. So as I'm blocking this out, I'm looking for any high or low areas that I need to correct. If I break through into bare metal, then that could be a high area that I need to knock down. Just because I sand through body filler into bare metal does not necessarily mean that that metal needs to be tapped down and is high. There could be low areas around that metal that is causing a wave in that panel. So you kind of got to feel over it and determine whether it's the metal that needs to get knocked down or do you need to add a little bit of filler. Okay, so now I'm switching over to this soft, flexible block, and the reason why I like this flexible block is because I can lay it flat against the panel. It can move with the contours of this panel and block it straight. Now, I am using 180 grit sandpaper here because we've already shaped it with the 80 grit, so now we're refining those 80 grit scratches with 180 grit sandpaper, and we'll continue refining that with 320, and then we'll prime over a 320 grit scratch. You always want to prime over a 320 grit scratch. I don't like to prime over anything coarser than a 320 grit scratch.
So we do have a few little pinholes, if you can see that. Let me zoom in here. See those couple little pinholes there? We're going to fill those with a little bit of icing.
So I mix up a little bit of icing here. This is polyester glazing putty. So it's a very thin version of body filler, and it's mainly used to fill pinholes or minor imperfections. It's also going to fill scratches, some deeper scratches, or some waves in your body filler. So we're going to use this to fill this just little low spot that we have up top of this wheel well, and then we're going to fill those pinholes, get those corrected. We'll block sand it out with 180 grit sandpaper, and once that's block sanded out, this will be ready for primer. Listen, if you're finding this information helpful and you want to learn more about paint and body repair, you can help support this channel by subscribing, liking this video, and leaving me a comment down below.
All right, we're just going to block this out.
And just like that, we're ready for primer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it helpful. I'll definitely do some more videos on blocking body filler, how to identify high and low areas, and how to get a feel for your body work and determine whether it's straight or whether you need some more blocking. I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Garage Noise.